I'm not working out.
Okay, so we're recording. It is February 9th, 2016, Good Life Team. And tonight I'm going to present on recruiting like a boss. And I have a presentation that was given to me by my friend Charlene Giordano, who is a phenomenal coach here in San Diego. And so thank you, Charlene. You'll probably never see this video, but shout out to you for the presentation, because it's always good, I think, to get another perspective. And so I'm going to share my screen and go through her stuff. Of course, I'm going to put my own spin on it, but overall, she's got some really great stuff. Okay. All right, so now you're seeing my screen. You see it, Liz?
Yep,
Okay.
I do.
So this is Charlene right in the center. That's the top half of her face. All right, so a couple of things. First off, it's really important to know your brand, know your target. And one of the things that she said that I loved is, she says, you know, you're not trying to recruit people like Lindsay Matway. Lindsay Matway is trying to recruit people like Lindsay Matway. You want to attract people like you to your team. So think about your personal brand, and these are some great exercises to really kind of get you thinking about it. I know Marina and I talked about, you know, she was trying to break free from being Serbian. I was like, you should lean into that. You know what I mean? So think about it. When you're in the bookstore, what sections do you like to browse in? What sections do you like to browse in? And that's a great one, man. I started thinking about that, going, man, that my brand is all wrong, right? But so I know I love to post about books and things like that, and get some great connections with people based on what I'm reading. But that is a good one. What are 3 questions, topics, or categories that you're asked about most often? Write those down. Those are things that will reveal to you what people think you're well versed in, right? What other people think you're well versed in. If you were a superhero, what would your superpowers be? List 3 superpowers. Okay, so I have not done this, but Charlene swears that if you post this, you will get phenomenal feedback. She said, just do it. Don't even question it. Just do it. Start it off. What are your superhero things, and see what other people do, and you'd be amazed at the conversation you create. What were the things that you enjoyed doing? What did you enjoy doing when you were 10? And again, this is just connecting us to kind of our pure joy moments. You know, what were you passionate about as a kid? How can you plug that into where you are and what you're doing now? Looking back on your life 20, 30 years from now, what do you hope is said about you? What do you hope is said about you? And I thought this was kind of cool too, because I think all of us have had in some way or another a transformation in our personal lives based on our association with Beachbody, whether it be through our health or just our outlook, our energy, whatever the case may be. I think we've all kind of had a transformation. So we're kind of at a moment where we're going to change our legacy from where it was going to where it is going. Does that make sense? And Charlene gave the example of Nobel. Was it Alfred Nobel? Can't remember his first name. Well, you guys know him for the Nobel Prize, but in his lifetime, he was very famous for inventing dynamite. And what happened in his story was somebody was killed, and it was a mistaken identity. They thought he died, and they published his obituary. And his obituary in the newspaper detailed about how he had created this explosive, which at that time was responsible for the deaths of 60 million people in World War I. And he did not want that to be his legacy. So he created the Nobel Prize and wanted to take the money that he earned from inventing the explosive and using it for good, using it to recognize and encourage people to do good. And guess what? It did work, because we only remember him for the Nobel Prize. And when we think about a Nobel Prize winner, it's pretty much the top honor ever. So okay. So what do you hope is said about you in 20 or 30 years from now? The reason we got to think about that is because we need to start creating our brand that we're going to build on. This is kind of the rock we're going to stand on. Now, what is memorable about you? What do you think is memorable about you? Again, these are just questions, great journaling exercises to help you kind of refine what your brand is. I love this one, number 7. What message getting out matters more to you than the money coming in? What message getting out matters more to you than the money coming in? This one kind of hit me. You know, right before we turned on the recording, Lucy and I were talking about how hard we're working this month. It's the 9th of the month, and neither one of us has hit Success Club. And we're working. Not that it won't happen, but it's tough sometimes, and you just really want to get the sale in. But at the same time, what's more important than that? And for me, my passion is really helping people with their health, helping people get fit. And there's lots of people that I coach in the way that we do, via Facebook message or text or whatever, that have never purchased from me. Because I either really care about their health or I don't, right? So to me, it's like, if they're not buying a challenge pack yet, that doesn't mean that I just kind of dump them and keep moving. I'm still trying to help them get fit. I've got people who are losing weight in other ways, and I'm encouraging them and excited for them, to see them starting to make a transformation, however they do it. That's why we're here, right, is to end the trend of obesity. And then write down 3 things that come to mind for these words: priorities, values, personality, skills. If you guys go through this slide right here, and I've been on the slide a long time. If you haven't screen grabbed it, go ahead and screen grab that. Actually, I'll post this PowerPoint in our group. But go through this, get out your journal and go through these exercises, and it will really help you refine it. I mean, when you talk about figuring out what your hashtags are, for example, for Instagram, this will help you get there. Okay. Add to your network daily. This is what you need to be doing to be recruiting. And I have not put an emphasis on this. And I admit I fall short and struggle with this myself. But this is where it's at, guys. If you guys want to really be growing your team, really be growing your network, you got to look at this and be serious about it. 5 to 10 new friends on Facebook a day, and or 5 to 10 new Instagram follows a day. That's your goal, right? You're trying to add to your database. Now, I know that I emphasize how you interact and deepen relationships with your database. But a database that doesn't have fresh flow, doesn't have fresh water coming in, is stagnant and will die. You have to have fresh water coming in. The other thing is the people in your database, they may take a year or 2 years for you to cultivate into a customer or a coach. It may take time for them to trust you and to see what you're doing. We joked about, a prophet is never a prophet in his hometown, right? And we know that it's true. Our family has seen us do all the dumb things that we've done in our lives. They've seen us try and fail. They've seen us fall on our face. They've seen us, well, gosh, in my case, lots of crazy, stupid stuff. So it's going to take them longer to believe that we are, the legit coach that's trying to help them. But new people that we meet are going to be inspired. They are going to be looking up to the accomplishments that we have already got. So it's important to be getting that fresh water in too. Now, they're not going to have trust either, but you can start to develop it. That's the whole point of what we're doing with Teamzy and other things is as you meet people, you're in contact to build those relationships. But how do you do this kind of stuff? Well, there's some great team calls out there on YouTube, on Instagram, and how to get the Instagram follows. I know that my success partner, Sue McDonald, does 25 outgoing, Instagram messages every single day. So she's posting 3-4 times a day on Instagram, getting people, when people like her post, she's sending them messages, and she's got all these messages prepared, right? She gets liked, she sends a prepared message, they reply, she has a prepared message. She has all this stuff prepared and shortcutted on her phone so that she can be super efficient. But she's doing that to build her database, to put fresh water in her database. You can go through your Facebook friends and look for friends in common, the friends of friends, and send them requests and get to know people and meet people. You got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. The caveat for that is always, make sure they're not a Beachbody coach. Make sure one of their mutual friends is not a Beachbody coach. Just, a little bit of integrity there. But other things that you guys can do, obviously, if you're doing other social media platforms like Periscope, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, these are different platforms that you can be doing to attract people. And some of you guys are really good at these. I happen to be pretty well networked in LinkedIn. Personally, some of you guys have pretty good LinkedIn networks. Some of you are really into Twitter, Pinterest. I really like Pinterest, but I kind of go in fits and starts on that one. And my Pinterest is mostly real estate related, so we'll have to get in there and redo that a little bit. Family parties, Charlene pointed this out. It is really great because whenever you go to a family party, it's not your family members per se, but the new girlfriend, the new boyfriend, the people that are guests of the family that are super interested in what you're doing. those are the people that are always there, and they're so like fascinated in what you're doing. I mean, my brother has a new girlfriend who came to my Aunt Alice's birthday party on Sunday, and she said to Lisa, "You got to work out. That's 30 minutes a day. That works. I'm in." And Lisa's like, "I don't just have one of those. I got a bunch of those." Friends of friends, again, you know, we talked about this on Facebook, at parties, whatever the case may be. But when you're talking to friends, again, friends of friends, that leads right into the next one, which is referrals, right? And I know that you guys probably, as a team, have heard more about referrals than other teams because it's a passion of mine, and happens to be something that I've been trained in for years and years and years. But you got to be talking to everybody, and you got to just ask them, tell them what you do, tell them how you help people, and ask them who they know. Okay, and you have to be specific. You have to tell them, if you come across somebody who could use my help in one of my accountability groups, losing weight, getting fit, regaining their health, would you please do me a favor and introduce us? That's what you got to say, guys. Don't just say, keep me in mind or whatever. Say, can you introduce us? Can you introduce us? You have to be specific. You have to tell them that you want to be introduced via text, via message, whatever's easy, but introduce us. Make the introduction, and I'll take it from there. The reason why it's so important, two things. I know this wasn't about referrals, but I have to. Two things is, the first piece is you need the trust that's given to you by the introduction. So somebody they trust introduces you, you get a little piece of trust. That's important. Okay, that shortcuts the relationship, helps you get closer in that relationship faster. The other thing is if they tell somebody about you, the chance of them calling you or contacting you is minimal. If they introduce you, at least you've made contact and you can follow up. And you may have to follow up 11 times with those people. That happens. I've got a few of those. But I will say that recently I've asked people in our Team Johnson Fitness, you guys have seen my posts, to introduce me, and I've had some introductions and new additions to my database. So it works. Okay, old classmates, neighbors, church members, club members. This is so funny because whenever somebody does network marketing, right, suddenly they care about people in high school they didn't care about a minute ago. It's very true. Okay, but here's the thing. You got to really care. I mean, to me, it's exciting to reconnect with old people that I might be able to, well, not old people, old relationships that I may be able to help, you know, that I may be able to help get healthy, especially if there are people who were running around unhealthy with me. Maybe now we can get them on board with what we're doing. So just think about this. How can you add people to your network daily? How can you get 5 or 10 people every single day into your database, onto your list, into your teams if you're smart? Okay, so think about that. You got to keep track. Now, this is really funny because you notice on her page, she did mention Teamzy because she doesn't like to promote anything that costs money. So, but she did mention it. But you got to keep track. You have to have a system. Okay, you can't do this without a system. No human being is good enough to do this without a system. There's no way. There's no way for you to keep track of who you're talking to, what you're doing, or have a plan. You got to have a plan. So obviously, I think Teamzy is the way you should do it because it's so much easier, right? But if you've got a lot of time and a lot of energy, and your time is worth more than the fee, then by all means do it by hand. But make sure you have a system, make sure you're tracking. And it's not just what you're doing this week, but who you're tracking. How's your entire list working, right? And make sure that you've got your goal. What are you doing every day? Who are you talking to? Are you keeping track of it? Are you logging it? And do you have a system to touch all those people? Okay. Kind of funny, little aside. This is my call, so I can do what I want. But on this page, so in the group, so Charlene did this training for our diamond group. It's like 2-star diamonds and below for the Western United States. And so usually there's 15 or 20 of us on a call. We get together every Monday at noon and share best ideas, best practices, and we take turns doing trainings. So she was doing this training, and my phone started kind of lighting up from people that were on the call going, is she going to mention Teamzy? Is she going to mention Teamzy? Ha, 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 ha. And then she did mention it. And then I got a bunch of little emoticons. So it's kind of fun to see people enthusiastic about that and how it's helping them. Okay. Be inviting. Okay. Being inviting. Now this is it. This is where it's really getting good. Okay. Because we need to be inviting people to the business opportunity, not just to our challenge groups. we got to be recruiting people that are interested in creating wealth, that are interested in creating extra income for themselves, not just fitness freaks like all of us too. So you guys I'm going to start doing these too, but you can find these on Top Coaches pages. They're there all the time. You see the now hiring posts, looking for 5 women to mentor, right? And different approaches to those posts. Okay. So, study those a little bit and just do one, see what happens, see what kind of results you have. And then we're going to host events. And I know I've challenged Lucy to do one of these this month, but there's a couple of different approaches. There's the sneak peek, which is 3 to 5 days on a Facebook group, which I've done. Some of you guys have seen the sneak peek videos that I made. You can do a Facebook 1-hour event, and I'll find the link and I'll put it in the group. But there's a really cool training on this that Shelly Hobbs did on the 1-hour Facebook recruiting event. So I will find that video for you guys. But if you want to look for it before I get to finding it, it's Shelly Hobbs. So, and she goes through exactly how we need to do that. But doing webinars, doing calls, and the Shake and Share events, which is another really cool thing, especially if you have a coach that you sign up locally. So here's how the Shake and Share thing works. And again, in the Coach Online office, there's a full guide on how to do this. But the Shake and Share, Lucy, I know you'll know this example, is kind of like the housewarming party that we used to have realtors do when they sold a house. So the Shake and Share is like the housewarming party. It's the celebration of the new coach. So what you do is you throw a little Shake and Share event for your new coach. So you sign up a new coach. Lucy, you'll be my example. Lucy, we'll pretend she lives in San Diego. So Lucy's my new coach. Great. So Lucy, I'm going to do a Shake and Share event at your house next Sunday night. I'd like you to invite 10 people that you think might be interested in trying Shakeology or hearing about what you're doing. So she invites 10 people. If we're doing really great, we get 5 to show up. They show up. And then I come over with my Vitamix, and I've got all of my goodies to mix up different recipes of Shakeology. And basically what I do is I tell them as a sponsoring coach about Beachbody and what Beachbody's done. And I may show some videos from the Coach Online office about Shakeology or about ending the trend of obesity, whatever is appropriate you think to the group, wherever the passion may be for that particular coach. And you just do like a 5 or 10 minute presentation on the coaching opportunity and talk about the upcoming challenge group. All of these presentations are in the Coach Online office. And then you mix up the Shakeology and everybody tastes, and that's it. And then it's just a hangout social event, everybody high fives. And so from what I've heard, Charlene does these a lot with her team, and she says that almost everybody that she's done a Shake and Share for has gone emerald right there on the spot in their very first event, that they've had at least 2 people that wanted to come on board as a coach. So I would recommend that you guys try this out. I'm certainly going to do it next time I have a local coach. Now, I have not, obviously I haven't done this yet, but Charlene said that also some coaches will do it long distance, where they have somebody organizes the Shake and Share, and then they bring the coach up on Zoom, and they do their presentation on the computer screen, max headroom style, kind of like I'm doing right now, via remote. So there's different ways you can do it, but it's just something fun to try, something fun to do. And for those of you guys who are really good face-to-face, connecting with people, it's so much easier to explain and talk about and generate enthusiasm for these things in person. Sorry, the New Hampshire polls are blowing up my phone right now. Like we care at this point, right? All right. Now you know when this was. And then follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. Follow-up is huge. And I know I've done a training on how to follow up without being a nag, that I think it takes 7 to 9 follow-ups on average to get a yes or a no from somebody, right? So if you're getting that's just the way people are. And, and we also know that half of the people are going to quit once we get them started in the challenge group. I mean, we just got to stay after people. You got to be on people. That's why they need a coach, because their habits are going the other direction. So just remember that. You got to not only be adding people, not only be staying in contact with people, not only engaging with people, but we got to continuously follow up with them. And I love this one too, because she talks about this, don't be insecure about being a Beachbody coach. Own it. You rock and this business rocks. Who wouldn't want to be a Beachbody coach? This needs to be your perspective. Why would anyone not want to do this? Why would anyone not want to have such a great opportunity to impact people's lives, to be in the best shape themselves? Because we know the accountability for them helps us, right? And to help other people have this quality of life. Not only that, but we get to build a business. We get to build a business that generates tremendous income without having to fill our garage with stuff, which is my favorite part. So just own it. Know that you're a rock. That you're a rock. You are a rock, and you rock, and the business rocks. All right. So thank you, Charlene, for your presentation. We appreciate that. That was cool. Very fun. And so what I want you guys to do when you watch that video and go through those action steps is think about, obviously the very first slide is the exercise to help you find your brand. That's really important. Everyone needs to do that. But then go through the other pieces and what really hit you, like what convicted you, like, oh my gosh, I should be doing that more. I should be adding 5 people a day to my list. Or I need to do one of those Speak and Share events. Or maybe it's that I need to do a sneak peek into coaching group. I want you guys to think about what particular recruiting tool or tip hit you, and get after it. Go do it. Go do it. Don't overlearn. You know, if you want to look at one YouTube video, great, and then just do it. Refine it as you go. Because let's face it, we all need to get recruiting. We all need to get recruiting. That's the whole point of this, right? We need to build a team. We need to find people who want to come along the journey with us. There's people who need our help. We have to get out from underneath ourselves and our insecurities so that we can get to the people who need our help. So that is my big speech.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, questions, thoughts?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was great. It was, I think those branding and all that other stuff, that'll be interesting. I always struggle with that because I was like, what do I do? But it's been interesting that I actually saw my friend Dawn Masters. I know you guys have seen her in the accountability groups and stuff, and she's just like my big evangelist. She's like, I got a couple more referrals I'm working on for you. I'm like, awesome. Why don't you be a coach? I'm like, I'm trying to get you a discount. She just kind of laughs at me. But one of the things she said was, you know, it's amazing, Lucy, you've, as long as I've known you, you tend to reinvent yourself very successfully. I'm like, what can I do with that? So I've been thinking about that lately. She's actually the 4th person that has said that to me.
I love it. Well, I think your team name is about to shape up. Right? And I mean, how many people out there are looking for that, are looking to reinvent themselves?
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about, you know, Lucy, you and I have talked about trying to encourage people that are like Debbie Downers. And, you know, when she said, what are the books that you like to read? I was thinking, man, I need to really get focused on the personal growth and development stuff that I've read. I mean, the hundreds of books, and be putting it out there and try to attract people who are reading that. Wouldn't it be great to already get people who are already working on their attitude and not have to start from scratch on like the power of positive thinking with people that are like, I want to do this, but I suck so bad. Oh my gosh. So, you know, again, it's like, what are you putting out? What are you attracting? You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's huge. So, you know, it's a good exercise for us all to go through. And you know, full disclosure with you guys. I mean, I haven't done this stuff myself. I haven't thought through a brand. I have a huge personal database and I've been working it, and my customers are from all over the board. You know, they primarily have one thing in common, and that's
we're monkeys.
Yeah, they're the Buffini monkeys. So, or their friends, you know, but, so it's important, I think, for us to do that because we need to start building a tribe. Have you guys read Tribes? Speaking of personal
I have the book.
You haven't, but haven't read it?
Exactly. Just like, you know, the stack I'm growing to be a nightstand heights.
Jennifer, have you seen this one?
No, I haven't yet.
It's little, look, tiny.
Yeah, it is.
Small pages. It's really great. And, you know, at this point, this book's old. So, not old, but I mean, it's what, 10 years old? Is it that old? I don't know. This was a brand new idea when it came out. Now it's going to kind of sound familiar, but the whole point is that business is done in tribes. And with the internet, it's easy for us to find each other. You know, it's easy for us to find each other, find people that like the same things we like, that are empowered by the same things we're empowered by, that are fired up by the same things we're fired up by. And for you guys to be super successful in this business, you don't need a million people. You know, you need 20 people like you. You may have to go through a couple hundred people to find those 20, but just saying. So, Jen, I know you came in at the tail end, so you missed it. It was awesome.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it since.
We are recording.
Yeah.
We are recording.
No, I was stuck outside in the backyard with my dogs, and I didn't want to call in and interrupt. But Lucy said, "Go ahead and call in." So.
Yeah, it's fine. We were just recording it for you guys anyways. So what happened today was another coach here in San Diego that's in my my Diamond to 2-Star Diamond group, Charlene. She had created a presentation on recruiting, and we used her presentation today.
Okay.
So it was another perspective, someone else's perspective, which I think was great, and I learned a lot from her. I've seen her present this twice now, and it's funny because I have all these different notes from both times on the same page here in my little book. I have this is just my little notebook that I just take notes from other coaches that I talk to. So, another thing that I wanted to tell you guys about, which is really cool, and you may not be aware of this. This is somewhat unrelated, but it's in my notes here. Colorcode.com. Colorcode.com. Are you aware of what colorcode.com is? So colorcode.com is a personality assessment tool. Okay. Lucy, it's not going to be nearly as sophisticated as Heritage Profile, but it's a good place to start to basically understand people's personalities, understand your own, and then as you add people to your team, have them take the colorcode.com test. It's free. You get the full report if you use the promo code Beachbody Coach, all one word. So you can get for free. You can get kind of the Reader's Digest version. And you can get the full report for free with the code Beachbody Coach. Another thing that's cool is you could have all of your challenge group challengers also do the color code as an added benefit. Right? It's kind of like an added thing. And with my code, Beachbody Coach, you can get the whole report. But send me a copy because I'm interested. And it's just going to help you communicate with them. You know, it's going to help you understand how they're wired. So even
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great if we could get a Heritage Profile on everybody, right? But that's not so Heritage Profile, Jennifer, is a tool that we used at my former company. It's a really in-depth personality analysis, but it's really hard to do. It's not portable. You have to have really highly trained people that are trained to do it and then analyze it, and lots of training. So really all you need is the edges. You need to know, is somebody long-term focused, short-term focused? Are they overwhelmed by details, or do they, big picture oriented, that kind of stuff. Do they hear tone? Do they hear the bottom line results of the words and things like that? You need to know so that you just know how to communicate with them. Also, so that you know when they say stuff that not to be curl up in the fetal position and cry if you're wired like me. So,
me.
So colorcode.com, check it out. Go in and do it yourself. Check it out. Have your spouse do it. See if it's anywhere close to anything. The other thing is earlier in the call, I told you guys to look up Shelly Hobbs' video on recruiting. I still want you to do that. But what I said was incorrect. Her video is not on the 1 hour Facebook event. The 1 hour Facebook event video is by Trina Gray. Trina Gray.
TrinaGray?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and Trina Gray does a thing, and basically she posts every 6 minutes for an hour. It's very similar to the 3 or 5 day coaching event, but it all happens in 1 hour type thing.
Okay, so, condensed.
And then the last thing that I want to say on this topic of recruiting is I'm taking it directly from Joe Carden, who's the sales manager for the Southwest, United States for Beachbody, and he said, look, you get back from this business what you put out. If all you're putting out is health and fitness, you're not going to grow your team.
He was in Atlanta Super Saturday.
Oh, did you see him?
Yeah.
I saw him at Summit too. Like on the street, I just grabbed him. Hey, Joe. He's like, oh, hey. But yeah, it kind of hit me because I'll just tell you guys, and you may have, I don't know if you've seen any of my old videos, but I've always said, hey, if you do Success Club, if you help 3 people a month, you're going to grow your team and your business. And you will. I mean, it's not untrue. And that's what my focus has been. And my business has grown. But if you really want to build a business, I mean, fast, like if you'd like to get it done in 3 years, like me, then you're going to have to do more than just that. You're going to have to be looking to recruit business building coaches. And so we've got to put some effort out for that. So that's all I have to say to that. So that kind of convicted me. I wanted to share it with you guys. That's what some of the stuff I'm going to be working on. And I know you guys are going to be working on it. I know you guys are doing amazing. You're impacting people's lives. You're helping them get healthy. You're getting them in challenge groups. I mean, that is so awesome. You guys are getting healthy yourselves. You're impacting your families, which is really neat. My friend Michelle, who's on our team, she lost her dad this week to cancer, which was really sad. But, one of the things I'm really excited about is the transformation she and her husband Paul have had through Beachbody themselves and their health and their relationship and their energy and their, and their everything. It's been really awesome. So, so shout out to you, Michelle, if you see this, but we're also know that we're keeping you in your prayers this week. I know you're going through a lot this week, but so, I mean, that's what it's all about. So those are my things this week. I was just looking to see if you had any other super cool tips from this week. So anyway, so what are you guys going to do?
I think my biggest challenge right now is I have a lot of people who are noticing that the changes that they're seeing in me, and they're coming to me and they're asking me questions. How am I doing it? So I'm straight up front with them. I'm getting a challenge pack. I drink my Shakeology every day. I do my workout. You should join our challenge group. I can send you more information. What are you scared of doing? What do you like doing? What are you interested in? Trying to find out what they're interested in. Everybody is not sold on the Shakeology. They don't like the price of the Shakeology. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can send you some information on it to show you how it breaks down and all the stuff that you're getting from it. It does sound expensive at first, but you are getting 30 meals out of it is how I explain it to them. And I also tell them that there's the option of, being a coach and getting a discount if that's something that would interest them. But they still feel that, $90 a month is too expensive. And, I lay off of them and I'm able to sell, a program without a shake, but they just, I can't do the challenge packs, and it's starting to get to me. So I'm trying to figure out a way to overcome that, or if it's just going to finally be that they see pairing the two and getting in the challenge group is what does it. So, because I have a couple that have bought just the programs and they don't want to be in the challenge group, and they're not seeing results because they're not wanting to stick to it by themselves. So, I don't know if maybe finally they'll come to me and say, well, let me join one of your challenge groups and see how that goes. Or if they're going to just give up. I don't know. But I keep trying to encourage them, and I keep reminding them lightly that they're always welcome to join. So,
I will tell you that in the very beginning, I struggled with the same thing to some extent. And I had people buying just the programs, getting in my groups without doing Shakeology, and same thing. The results weren't as good. I didn't have the confidence at that point to say no, or to educate them more that I have now. But I will tell you, I have learned a few things since then. So the first thing is before I get to the point where I can allow them to have those objections, when somebody's interested, there's a great role play in the Coach Online office for this. I don't know where you have to dig it up, but there's just some questions that you ask. So you get them answering questions instead of getting right to what they're going to get. So, okay, great. Yeah. What are you doing? Well, I'm doing the Beachbody program. What goals do you have? You know, what's your goal? Well, I'd like to lose 20 pounds. Really? Why? I mean, is there any particular reason? So you just got to start asking some questions, right? First, you got to find out what they want to do. Oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to look better. You know, I want my husband to be more attracted to me. I want to be, you know, my mom has diabetes. I don't want that. Whatever. You need to get to that pretty quick. Ask them a couple of questions, you know, lead them through. Like, okay, so you want to lose 20 pounds. Why? You know, why would that be important to you? How would that make you feel? So get that. And then ask them questions like this. Are you exercising now? What kind of exercise are you doing now? Okay. So let them tell you, and then say, okay, and have you been getting good results from that? What's your daily nutrition look like? I mean, you know, Jennifer, just tell me, like, what's the typical day of eating look like for you? And let them outline that. Okay, so are you buying lunch every day? Are you packing your lunch? Are you buying lunch, breakfast? How exactly do you allow to take out food? You know, I ask questions like that because what I'm doing is I'm gathering information. How much help they need, right? How much the nutrition plan is going to help them. Are they getting any nutrition? You know, how would you rate your nutrition? Do you eat a lot of vegetables? Do you think you eat like 4 or 5 servings of fresh vegetables a day currently? Are you taking any vitamin supplements? Right? Are you doing any protein powders or anything like that? I'll ask all those questions because then, and I'm just kind of gathering information. I go, well, you know, and then I'll also ask them, you know, well, do you have, as far as exercise goes, do you have any injuries or any physical limitations that I should know about? And the reason why I want all this information is because I want to recommend the right program for you, and then I'll get you all the information on it. Does that make sense? So you're gathering all this information, you're having this interplay. Oh, and then you go, okay, great. So one more question. Do you have anybody that supports you or holds you accountable to these things? Like, you know, you've been going to the gym, doing the elliptical. Do you have like a group, a support group? Are there people that are helping you, that are encouraging you, that would notice if you missed a day? Mm-hmm. You know, so you want to ask them about every little aspect of what they're going to get. And then you have the answers. So then when you say, okay, great. Well, you know what, based on what we've talked about, and this could be on Facebook message or text. I've had this conversation, or email. You know what I mean? Based on what we've talked about, I really think that 21 Day Fix would be a great program for you. And the cool thing is it's really inexpensive. In fact, even with the super nutrition shake, it's going to be less than the Panera bread you're buying now. You know what I mean? It's going to save you a lot of money. And not only that, you're going to feel amazing. You're not going to have to be worrying about all the expensive medical care when you're older, because you're going to be healthy and you're going to feel great. We're going to get your, whatever that goal you told me, the reason why you wanted to lose the 20 pounds, we're going to get that for you. You know? So we start with a 3-day challenge group, and what we do in that, what we do in that 3-week challenge group, and you just lay it out for them. We hold each other accountable, we encourage each other. We have very focused workouts. They're hard, but they're doable hard. 30 minutes a day. You can do them at home in your ugly clothes. You don't have to look cute or put on your lipstick, right? Nobody can see how bad you do the moves because you're at home. And then we eat smart. We have a really easy to follow food program. You eat a ton of food, but it's clean. And then we boost your system with Shakeology, superfood nutrition. And so, I mean, that's kind of how I set it up. And then honestly, most of the time when I say, the cool thing is it's really inexpensive, and then I show them that they can get it for $140, they're like, okay, yeah, that's really not that expensive. I haven't had that objection. Now, there are people who are like, wow, that really seems expensive to me. And I'm like, really? Because you already told me that you buy a breakfast burrito every day, which is $4, and that's actually killing you.
Yeah, or the ones that buy $60 creatine shakes from GNC, and they still have to add a bunch of ingredients to make them taste decent, you know, whereas you can have a Shakeology that tastes great with just water, you know. You don't have to put that much to it unless you just want to.
Well, you know that GNC is in the middle of their 12th lawsuit, right? About lying about what's in their stuff.
Oh, I could believe that 100%.
But, you know, and then the thing I say is protein, you know, my friend Joanne, who is a who I was supposed to meet today actually to talk about being a Beachbody coach. She rescheduled. Looking forward to that talk. She does Vega One protein, which is really good quality protein shakes. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Oh, that's at Costco, right?
I don't know if they're there, but I know they sell them at health food stores and stuff. So Vega One, Vega One's a really good quality vegan protein shake. And I said, she goes, I do Vega One. I go, that's a really good quality protein shake. I go, if you're looking to just get one macronutrient, that's a pretty good product. I said, but you know enough about nutrition to know that it's the micronutrients that make a real impact on your body. So Shakeology has protein. Actually, it has vegan quality protein, just like Vega One, but it has another 70 ingredients, another 70 superfoods that are whole foods. You're getting all the micronutrients. I mean, they've already discovered 3,000 micronutrients in the tomato, and they think they've only got 10% of the micronutrients identified in a tomato. People are taking lycopene tablets. That's one nutrient in a tomato. Why do you think God gave us a tomato? To eat the whole friggin' tomato. Because it's like beyond our comprehension, all the things in that thing that's good for us, So Jennifer, you can tell I've had this conversation a million times. You're going to get more confident with it as you get more educated. But the most important thing is to really try to understand what they want to achieve, understand where they need support, which is going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere in most cases, right? Mm-hmm. Because here's the bottom line is if they had what they needed to in place to be there, they'd be there. And the other thing that I always talk to people about is, the reason why you need a coach, the reason why you need the accountability in the group is because we're creatures of habit, and your habits have put you right where you are. And you'll continue to grow in the direction you're moving now. Things are not going to change unless you have the support you need to completely replace those habits with new ones. So, that's what I do for a living. That's what I do. That's my passion, is to create an environment that people like you can become the person you want to be and have the environment to succeed in that. So is that worth a little bit of investment? Yeah. I just had this conversation with somebody. Why shouldn't I just get it for 3 easy payments on beachbody.com? I was like, because you're going to fail.
Yeah.
You're going to fail by yourself. If you could do it on your own, you would have already. That's why. Right? And I go, sorry, I'm not trying to be offensive, but you want me to be your coach. I'm going to love you enough to be honest with you. I want to help you succeed. That box doesn't care if you played or not.
I had another coworker the other day ordered her Pio from beachbody.com with the 3 easy payments. And when she told me, I said, you could have ordered that from me and been in our challenge group. He said, oh, I only thought you sold the shakes. And I'm like, no, Beachbody is everything. You should be in this group. So she's like, oh, well, maybe next time. I'm like, okay, well, good luck sticking to that. Just let me know when you want to join.
Yeah. And just stay in touch with her.
Yeah.
Some of that's on you, right? Because you're like, shoot, I need to educate these people better. But you're also at work, so you're trying not to overdo it. I know, because I went through that too.
There's only so much you can share because you can't sell things at work. So that's our rule.
Yeah. So all you can do is let people know, like, I know at work I used to go, people would ask me and I'd go, send me your personal email address and I'll connect with you later.
Yeah.
Or they'd Facebook message me at work because they figured like that's safe. It's on the phones outside of the network. But yeah, so you just, I know you have to be prudent with that at work. But, the biggest thing is just get educated. You should read Super Life. Darren O'Lean's book, Super Life, is so good. But at least get on the Shakeology, is it a podcast?
Podcast, yep.
So the very first Shakeology podcast, number 1, with Darren O'Lean, is the Reader's Digest version of his book, and he does it in like 6 minutes. And he talks about the micronutrients, why Shakeology is not a protein shake. It's awesome. So you can put that to bed right there with people. But not everyone's going to be interested, and that's okay. It's like you help who you help. The story of the starfish. The story of the old man throwing the starfish back into the ocean. There's millions of starfish washed up on this tide, and he's standing there throwing the starfish in, and the young man walks up to him and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm throwing starfish back in the ocean." He goes, "Why bother? There's a million of them. What difference can you make?" He picks up the starfish and he flings it into the water, and he says, "It made a difference to that one." And I apologize if you guys have heard that story 100 times, but that story, Deborah Bly from Houston told me that story a million years ago, and she gave me a starfish pin, which I wore on my lanyard at Buffini events for a decade, because to me, that's what coaching is. It was in that sense, it was coaching real estate agents. In this sense, it's coaching people. It's I want to help as many starfish as I can. I know it's futile. I know I can't help everybody. And I know there are going to be ones that I pick up and throw and just wash back up again, but got to do what I can do. You know what I mean? And so just be encouraged. Don't be discouraged by those people. Just know you're trying to help people. And you just got to be patient and do your best. But you can improve your skills, your confidence, and your knowledge. You're still not going to help everybody, but you can improve those pieces, and you can be more prepared. So I hope that helps, but definitely asking those questions are huge. It really helps. And again, Tommy Migrant, role play in the Coach Online office, look for that. You got to be good at digging around in there, but you'll think that I was really smart, and then you'll go, "Oh, he got all that from Tommy Migrant." Why not? He's really successful, right?
And that Vita Lofato one, getting to their why conference call, that was really awesome.
Yeah,
it was yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones of all time. So
yeah.
What did we decide it was? November 2014.
Yep.
Yeah, in the online office archive. So, and I posted that one. That one's posted in our Coach Basics group.
Yes.
Oh, also, last time we talked, did we talk about the Finish Line Leaders app?
We did a little bit, and then I was like, yeah, Finish Line. Then that's Tracy Morrow's group, right?
Search Finish Line Leaders app. Get it on your phones. I do believe it works with Androids too, for you rebels. But this is what it looks like. Okay, it's real basic. But if you go into videos, see that very first one, instructional videos? What I love about this is, so it's got Coaching 101. So that's like your basics. And it's all done by Tracy herself. And then it's got Coaching 201, Coaching 301, Leadership 101, Leadership 202. There's a Dash to Diamond group. It's all on here. Leadership Legacy. And it's all, Tracy spent a lot of time recording all these videos. And then some of the other leaders on the team recorded videos. So literally, you guys, without having to dig around for the appropriate video on YouTube, when you have time, when you're at work and you're on a lunch break or whatever, and there's no one around to chat with, put in your headphones and watch a video. This is a great way to improve those skills as you go. And I'm grateful that she spent all that energy and time and money doing that. I know it's going to help her because we help her, right? She gets bonused on our volume, but it's helpful to us. That's what I love also about this network, is that everybody wants to help everybody succeed. So, keep going.
I can safely say that if nothing else makes somebody else want to become a coach, since I have joined and have actually been helping in challenge group, people at work have noticed a difference in me in general, to the point where the higher ups have started assigning more roles to me at work, and the job not even related to Beachbody, but they've noticed my increased confidence. And it's just, this whole thing has made a difference in my life, with my overall confidence and leadership skills. They're seeing approach new just all of a sudden in me, and they don't know where it's come from. And I'm like, I just go home and work out every day and, join my challenge groups and talk with my other coaches. And there's a lot of good things to learn from this that you can apply to your daily life, not just your fitness. life, and people should really take advantage of this. And
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that here for anybody who watches this recording, because that's
Absolutely.
I think that's something that people don't think about. They think this is all just to fitness and health, and it's made a difference in my whole well-being. So
That's awesome. Well, and you are becoming a leader. Not that you weren't one, but you're stepping into a leadership role, and you're leading your team. And I know your team is small at this point, but you're leading them, and it's not going to be any different. They're just going to multiply, but you'll still be leading them. So they'll see that at work too. So, and then people will become really attracted to that. As you build your skills and your confidence grows, when you give people their advice on what they could be doing, they're going to take it with a lot more weight. You know what I mean? So that's all. Okay, guys, I know we're almost at an hour. Luckily for you guys, I bought Zoom so that we don't get shut off at 35 minutes. Probably not luckily for you. Used to just shut us off. You'd be like, good night. But I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Eric, for doing this.
Yeah, and keep going. Revisit those. I'm going to post that in my post. I'll post the recording. I will post in the documents of the group Charlene's presentation, so you have those slides. And I may edit the slide to say Teamsy slide number 4, but
just right across.
Number 1, Teamsy. Number 3,
Teamsy.
You like working hard and not smart. These are your choices.
In small font.
Yes. So, okay. Enough of that. So I will talk to you soon. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Sayonara.
Have a good night.